This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Hello and welcome to the Love Talk Show. Welcome back to Cuden Beach Hotel. We were here last week interviewing Alex and Leah, and we could learn a little bit more about their story, you know, the baggage that they carried within themselves. And it goes to show once again the importance of one working himself before working on the relationship itself, before worrying even about finding someone else, because we could see that both of them tried that. Remember that Alex, he traveled different places, took different jobs, met different people, but to no avail.
Exactly, and that's why it's so important for someone to understand oneself first before trying to understand someone else. And no wonder, because many people don't do that, so no wonder they fight so much in a relationship.
Yes, so let's watch some highlights from last week's show. How long have you been together?
4 years?
4 years, yeah.
4 years.
I was a little baby, but a few days, my mom adopted me. All my childhood, I have a problem with violence, abuse.
You would be at the center and everything else would revolve around you.
Yes, and if it wasn't revolving, I would change to a different location and create a new environment. I got my first kid, Joshua, and I was like 20.
I grew up thinking that the people you're supposed to love me, they also use violence with me. We used to go to the school with marks in my body, and I have bones broken, some points.
I thought I was ready, but I wasn't. When she had him, we broke up.
I was around 30 years old, my first marriage.
So you're married for 12 years?
We tried to get kids. I don't love anymore. I want a divorce.
So now that you're acquainted with what happened last week, let's go for a short break, and right after we'll continue with Alex's individual story.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Hello, our YouTube viewers. We are the presenters of the Love Talk Show.
I am Rafa.
And you know who I am, Luke. And we are here to encourage you to share this channel with your friends, your family members. Invite them to watch our shows, because you know our desire is to help couples and singles do better in their relationships or future relationships. So subscribe to this channel, share on your Facebook page, share the link with everyone you know, so that they can learn intelligent love.
Also, leave us our comments and your questions.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Who was Alex before?
Alex was an eternal teenager, eternal boy, with his own attitude, rebel, without a cause, going from one girl to a different one, and always thinking that she wasn't good enough for me, but I had dozens of girls, never just one. I would always...
At the same time, you mean?
At the same time. Never. I was never faithful, never loyal. I always cheating and manipulating the situation for me.
How long after that did you meet Leah?
It was a hey in Facebook. But I used to send hays, you know, like for people. you know, not only women, for people. And, but that time, that day, I had a deal that I was closing with a TV network. And when I sent that hey, I was with a girl, a friend girl. And we were talking, me and her, all night long and stuff. And then I said hey to Leah, but with a different intention at the time, you know. I don't know why, but it was something that felt good, saying hey. And I had to go to this meeting, and my friend spoke a little bit with her. And when I came back, she said, hey, this girl is nice. Why don't you? And I said, yes, let's talk to her. Then I sent her a film I was writing, and she read the film, and so the rest is story.
But hold on a second, you're saying the guy said, this is a nice girl. But how old were you guys back then? You're not that young anymore.
I felt something, no, because
I
didn't talk through the Facebook.
At that time,
yeah,
how old were you at that time when you heard about Leah? Do you remember your age back then?
No. I met her like 4 years ago. In Facebook. Yeah, we are friends in Facebook, but I have thousands of friends.
Meaning that the two of you, after many years into relationships, and also at a certain age, not so young anymore, once again you were trying to see if it works, right? Once again you're trying to see, okay, maybe this one now will work.
Yeah, and then I had a lot of issues. I told her, you know, that she said to me, like in the first week, she said, is it possible for you to love me? And then I said, I don't think so, but I was honest to her. But I think that things that take time to happen take time to be lost. And I was pretty gentle with her because I thought that she was special. So I really tried hard not to lie. And then I decided that I would be honest to her from the beginning to the end. And that was something very good at the time. And then I proposed her, do you want to get married to me? She said yes. We set everything up, and I didn't go to the marriage. And
hold on a second. You set up everything?
Yeah.
On the day of the wedding, you didn't turn up?
Yeah. And
why?
Because I was married. I've been married before, and it didn't work. I didn't want it to happen again. As I told her, being with me is like having an old car. And then she used to say that she would repair the parts, you know. And then I said, okay, so if you think you can do it. And she was patient enough, so we decided to get married again. So we set up again. And I didn't show up again, and then she couldn't cope with that. See? And we broke up.
It's interesting what you said, because though she was willing to help you, the question was, were you willing to work on yourself?
I was addicted to sabotaging my life. I was a professional Alexander killer. So I wanted to not kill myself. I have never thought about that.
So not Alexander the Great, but the killer.
Yeah, about kind of killing my happiness at that point. So we broke up.
So for the second time, you didn't turn up for the wedding?
Yes. Then she traveled to
So she decided to
London.
leave?
Yeah. And then I went to work on this documentary.
So that was back in Brazil?
Back in Brazil.
And she came all the way to London to start afresh.
And I decided to venture in a project at the time where I would travel to cities. I had to sleep in nursing homes and hospitals with people like facing death with cancer. And
so was that a kind of documentary?
Yeah, and my purpose, my goal was to ask them what would they change if they could come back.
So you traveled to nursing homes, doing this documentary, asking them
if they could come back, what would they change?
Wow.
It was my initiative, so I wanted to do it. It was my project.
So if they could...
It's me by myself.
If they could rewind their lives...
What would they do differently? Why? Because I knew I didn't have the answers, and I didn't trust anyone to ask. So why not speak to old people who are dying or something like that? And then that's when I listened to the best answers. You know, I would love to come back and be the best husband. I would love to be a better father. And there was some old people who would say, I would love to be rich. But like in 100 people I spoke to, 10, they would just be hard until the end. You know?
The majority?
Yeah, but the majority would say, I would love to come back and be a better father, to be a loving husband, to be a better person. And then they would cry. And it was very depressing. And for me, I was a happy person. Like I was a very uplifting person. I was the center of the party and things like that. Leah used to say, hey, you now are the clown of the party. You know, I started thinking about all those things. Everything was kind of fitting together, connecting. And then I said, man, this is not good. I want to change. I really want to change. I don't want to be like that. I want to be something more. This is not nice. This is bad. And then that's when I sent her an email. She read the email in London and she called me crying, oh my God, you changed, are you really doing that? Can you show me the documentary? And I said, okay, I can send it to you. Can you come to London, please? Help me, work with me. I said, wait, I still have some months to go. Let me finish everything up. And then I finished. I kind of stopped drinking and the drugs were over. And I kind of disconnected with my friends, everyone, and connected with myself within. I started talking to my father, my mother, with my family, and I forgave my father 100%. And I just fell in love with my father, and I understood him. And he felt a little bit guilty at the time, and I told him, forget about it, you're the best father in the world, and he really was. Because I couldn't see the positive, because I thought that the negative was bad, but who were I to say something about it, you know? So it was pretty much that, you know, like before coming here.
So you saw yourself in those people? You saw that you could become one of them.
Yeah,
and that rang a bell and you said, hold on, I have to do something about my life.
I just don't want to finish like that.
So you came over, or eventually, I think you met again.
And then I proposed again, and I was at the marriage.
Good.
I was the first one to arrive.
At this time you were there present.
Yeah, it was just amazing. It was absolutely fabulous.
So
it was pretty.
What you're saying, Alex, is then what you needed to do was to deal with your inner issues first.
Yes.
You stopped being at the center of everything. You stopped forcing everyone to accept who you were, and you decided to force yourself to change instead.
Yeah. I decided to just to live a different life. I decided to think, and I decided to understand that life is not a movie. I'm not the director, and I'm just a simple person who is going to have a simple or fancy whatever life. And the end could be that end, and I really don't want to have that end.
What tools did you use? What?
Use my intelligence. I use I decided to listen to my good voice, because my head was a war zone. So many voices, but you always know there's a good voice in there. And I decided to listen to that good voice. And I decided to say no for the war and say yes for the good voice. And then the good voice started speaking louder, and took over. And that's who I am now, the good voice.
So is that part of the intelligent love, intelligent approach to relationships?
Yes, yes. We are humans. We have intelligence within, and we have to use it. And then once we got married, we just found out it's not flawless. So we had different issues, different problems. And we had to overcome them, you know, one by one. because we decided to make it work. Because she had a past, I had a past. So let's put a rock above all that and start everything from scratch, you know, and let's have fun doing that. Why being married has to be tacky and not very interesting? Why not getting to know each other? It must be an adventure. So let's live this adventure. Let's have fun, you know, and then everything that comes with it. Let's enjoy everything. Let's understand that life has to be about being together with people and as a couple, you know. So
and now you've been married for what? A year?
2 years.
2 years
it's
now.
It's going to be in March, yeah.
2 years.
March 12th.
So the third time you didn't run away. You were.
Yeah, I was there. I was
present.
the first one there. Yeah.
So in other words, once everything changed inside of you, when you decided to confront those issues and past, forgive your father, change your mindset, your approach to women, to even to yourself, you know, everything else fell into place.
Yeah.
As long as that Alex was there, even though you're trying different people, different places, traveling the world, different jobs, it wasn't working.
You wasn't working.
So you had to stop and turn the attention to yourself.
Yes, and once you change from within, everything around you change. Intelligent love. Going to the seminars, you know, being there, is like a constant evolution, and what you learn there is actually something that you can use, and you see the results immediately.
And now we're going to see the 3 most annoying things from Alex and Leah, and after the break, we will come with the conclusion to today's topic.
Well, the 3 most annoying things about Alex are, first one, it's he never, when the toilet paper is finished, he never add another one. This is so annoying. When I get to the bathroom and, okay, it's empty again.
Okay, the 3 most annoying things about Leah is, I actually don't have 3, maybe 2. When I want to go to the toilet because I got to work, I have like such a tight schedule, you know. Whenever I want to go to the toilet, she's there. So this is very annoying because I really want to take a shower and do whatever, and she's there.
Another thing, it's right after I organize his drawer with t-shirts, everything inside, completely organized. Just a few moments, he just push one and make a mess. He never puts it in the same place.
And the second most annoying thing is when she always wants attention all the time. So sometimes I just want to have a little bit of space for myself, and she wants attention. And I say, okay, I gotta do, you know, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And then she says, no, I just want attention, attention, attention. So this is pretty annoying because she wants attention all the time. That's it.
And the third one, I can tell you, in 4 years, I cook a lot, complex food, everything. But until today, his rice is much better than mine. I can get him. This is so annoying.
And the third one is that whenever we have dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever, she wants to wash the dishes at the right time we finish it, instead of just relaxing a bit and doing something else and then washing it a bit later. She just wants to do it immediately, so that's a bit annoying as well.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Do you know what intelligent love is? But you can find out on our site. It's lovetalkshow.tv. Many people, they struggle in love, in their relationships. They keep losing their hearts, their feelings, and everything always goes to waste. So if you want to learn to love intelligently, that's the place you should visit. lovetalkshow.tv. We also have our Facebook page, our Instagram page, Love Talk Show. So visit us.
I just agree with everything she said.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Welcome back to the Love Talk Show, and today's topic is why couples fight so much. And we just heard the story of Alex and Leah, which now everybody knows that it wasn't a bed of roses from the beginning. And you had, obviously, to adapt, change, and so on and so forth. What do you have to say to our viewers right now? What is the key to cause those changes, to go from what we just saw now to what we heard in the beginning of our first show? You know, when you disclosed to us how amazing the relationship it is today. So what is the key to cause that turnaround?
Personally, I can say that I have to overcome my issues inside, my rejection problems. I realize it's not the person besides me that gonna keep my ghosts and my troubles, my thoughts, make me be understand. And there's nobody perfect for you. I realize after I deal with my deep troubles, my spiritual life, I have to say, my faith, my emotions, I realize that I can overcome, and then I can see somebody else, really.
So first was about you.
Yeah.
Dealing with those issues inside.
Yeah. And I need to find the way. That's something that I got from the love school, love therapy. That we have to see inside of us why you have troubles. They come often, the fights come often for the same reasons, and you can overcome, you can solve these troubles. So then we can realize, oh, this is concerning about me.
So it's no longer demanding change from your spouse, but it's first demanding change from yourself, right? It's very easy to point fingers. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to change, you do this to me, and so on and so forth. But your spouse is trying to show you something else, and you're ignoring what he's saying or what she's saying, right?
Yeah, for me it was kind of forgetting the rebel without a cause and becoming the man with a cause.
Good.
Yeah, so forgetting about the things that I had inside, of course not forgetting resolving the issues within. And once you resolve these issues, what comes from within is who you are. So basically kind of thinking about things by exercising daily. It's like going to the gym. You go to the gym because you want to be stronger, and you have to go daily. So you have to exercise daily if you want to become something better.
Now,
it's not a click.
Yeah. Now, for a man to come to that conclusion, it's not very easy because we men tend to be very proud, right? We think that we can manage everything on our own. How did you confront that, having to come from that, from being that kind of guy?
Be intelligent, saying, I don't want to be pride. So let's forget about this and let's be something better. What is this something better? So it's the constantly searching and looking for an evolution, evolving. So I kind of, instead of creating problems because I wanted to be, you know, different, because of, you know,
be on top.
Exactly. Right? I wanted to evolve and become this something better, this better man. For me, for my wife, for my family, for my parents, for my kids, for my friends, for everybody who's close to me, you know, trying to set up an example.
So it's pretty much thinking of in the long run, Long run. So if I don't change, if I don't do anything about it now, I'm going to lose everything I have. I'm going to lose everybody around me, which happened to both of you, especially you, as we heard in the story just now. At this time around, you didn't want that. You had to do something different, and that's exactly what you did.
And if I go to the gym daily, as I do, why not working or exercising on a certain kind of a behavior? So that's what I do.
One thing that Leah mentioned was that you have the same arguments often, and that led nowhere. Like you never came to a conclusion, you never solved the problem. How do you deal with that now? Like do you have arguments? If you have arguments, how do you get past the argument today?
I like that.
The tricky question.
Yes.
It's because it's a common thing
course,
in
yes.
couples. People think that arguing is a bad thing. Not necessarily.
No.
It's just you have to know how to argue.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's it.
So how did you do?
Knew well, first of all, your partner, because you know that's the way he liked to think. He has that make more intelligent your decision. You know that if you argue in that moment, the way
It's gonna cause an argument. So.
And without if we can measure the consequences, is not going to be the result that you expect. So this is not the right time.
To know the time.
And maybe
to
I'm
bring
not going
something
to
up.
say this not in order to offend her. So maybe I'm going to speak in a different manner. Maybe I'm going to say my love, and then I can say what I have to say. So simple like that.
Yeah.
That's a good trick right there.
I'm going to start doing that more often.
Yeah.
But of course, it goes by the way you speak,
Of course.
by your approach.
Yeah.
Like you said, you know your spouse. You're not the same. You're not the same. This thing of soulmate, it's a joke.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
It
Yeah.
doesn't work.
It's fairy tale. It doesn't exist. You have to understand your spouse. If you don't understand your spouse, you're not going to make it work. If you only want your spouse to understand you, you're going to remain alone. You're going to try over and over and over again. It's not going to work. So that's what you've done them. You have decided to understand each other, give space, know what one likes, know what the other likes.
There was some time, like for months, that I just wanted to please her for some months. And she's intelligent. After some months, I think she noticed, and then she said, okay, let's do it this way. So it came for her and not for me, you know? So I think it's a matter of, trying to make things work instead of receiving, giving, you know?
We have to stop to try to view yourself in your partner. So you expect him to to react
In a certain way.
as you would be reacting
If it was you.
If it was me. This is really important for keeping both of us together, because he's a different person. And all the love that I have for him, all the respect that I have for him, it's something that I need to see through him. That's a person inside him, that he has a different behaviors, point of views, but it's still the same person that I respect every day, that I have in the mornings, that I know that if I have to count on you because I passed through something, sickness, some difficulties, this is the person going to be by my side.
And sometimes I can say like, okay, even if I'm not okay, just because I know it's important for her and because I have the rest of my life to prove something different, if it's really necessary to prove something different.
Yeah, you mentioned something that's very important. You expect your spouse to react as if he or she were you, which is, that's what some couples do, they go through. And you said, as you mentioned, expecting him to have some sort of reaction or, deal with certain things the way I do, you're going to lose the battle. You're going to lose the argument. It's not going to work.
And it's very unfair because that person is not you. And sometimes I also think that, for example, because we've worked in this relationship, some things he says, maybe because he's mad or because he's tired or because he's frustrated or whatever, I just let it slide. I don't take offense because I know he's now frustrated. It's not how he is all the time. The problem with couples is that they say something, they let nothing slide. No, you said that, and now it's a problem.
They hold that against the other for a very long time. Another person that I spoke with, a wife whose husband now is bedridden, was telling me that, his reactions due to his sickness, sometimes he can come across very rude. And I was telling her, that's not him. It's not that he hates you. They've been married for many, many years. I think both of them are in their late 70s, early 80s. But now he's fallen very sick. And as you were saying, I was telling her, you have to let that roll off your back, whatever he says, because that's not him. It's just maybe days of frustration. He's sick.
He's in pain.
He's in pain. So as you two are saying, understanding each other, as you mentioned very well, you put it very well, you don't need to prove anything now. All you need to say is, okay, fine. You might have a chance or time later on to prove otherwise, or maybe not.
Maybe not.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
Because after all, what's the most important thing is to keep the relationship healthy, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was a long journey, the story, right? But we would like to thank you both, because I believe your story is inspiring a lot of couples who perhaps, even people who are right now alone, they don't have anybody with them, but they've been to relationships in the past. Now they keep questioning, wondering, what do I have to do? What is next? Was I wrong? Was only my partner? Was it the both of us? Couples who are going through the same thing right now, I believe they will really take something out of your story.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your
you.
time, for coming all the way from London to Betsy-on-Sea with us.
It's amazing.
For this lovely afternoon tea.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
That's right. That's what we're going to do. So this is it, guys. We're going to come back after the break, and we're going to conclude with our thoughts, our views on why couples fight so much. So stay with us.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Hello everyone, we are here to invite you to our Love Talk seminars every Thursday at 8 p.m. on the address that you can see here at the bottom of your screen. You can also find more details on our website, lovetalkshow.tv. You find events throughout the year. They are all free, where you're going to learn a lot about relationships. Singles and couples are invited. Our desire is to share with you a little bit of what we've been through, and also, help you with prayers, with advice, with counseling, down-to-earth teachings in which will help you become a better man, a better woman, a better husband, a better wife, and see, better results of your investment when it comes to relationships. Okay? Every Thursday, 8 p.m., Love Talk Live on this address here that you see at the bottom of your screen.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Once again, we see that the key is to work on oneself. That's exactly what they did. They realized that as we mentioned last week, that they had to stop and work on themselves. A few things that they said that are very interesting. One of the things that Alex mentioned is that I think right in the beginning of the show, or the first part of the show, he was saying that now whatever happens, they take a step back, they listen to each other, make their decisions later. Sometimes it's just okay, as okay is the appropriate answer at that moment. Later on, they can, come up with a conclusion or discuss or simply leave it there. So how can a person, how can a man, how can a woman come to that conclusion? It's not easy. You must exercise intelligent love, intelligent faith. You have to exercise, self-control. So it's not something that you wish. You have to learn. Once you learn it, you practice.
You decide to practice.
Decide to practice. Follow those instructions that you receive. And you have to swallow your ego, your pride, for the benefit of that relationship, so that relationship can last longer, last forever.
Yes, and it's like this. Many people, including people who come to talk to us, they say, I can't do it anymore. It's just that person is too difficult. So we keep arguing. Every conversation turns into an argument. it's just impossible to be with that person. But it's so difficult because you have issues yourself. In order for you to have a healthy relationship, you need to have something to give. How can you give all that? Self-control, sacrifice, how can you exercise all that if you have all these issues? People think that you get into a relationship to receive, to complete you, to have what you haven't had up to that moment. But the truth is, when you go into a relationship, you need to go having what to give. That's when you can solve problems. That's when you can have healthy arguments that turn into solutions. But nowadays, as couples come to talk to us, what happens is all they do is argue, and it gets them nowhere.
Yes, gets nowhere, and then their decisions to split up.
Yeah.
Let's get divorced. That's why the numbers of divorce in this country are on the rise right now, and we are trying to confront that, to fight against that, because we prove today through Alex and Leah's story that there is a solution, there is a way out, as long as they practice intelligent love, right?
And also there is something that some people say, most times I even know what to do,
but I can't.
I only realize after, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have said it that way. But I can't help it. When I see I already said it, I already did it, I already walked away. Some people need more than just realizing that they need to work on themselves. If that's you can head over to our website, because there you're gonna find how you can receive further help to be able to not only realize what you need to change, but also have the power to actually make those changes.
You can also visit our YouTube channel, Facebook page. Just search for Love Talk Show. And perhaps you missed the first part of the show, so that you can also get acquainted with the story. In case you watch it only today, you can go back, you can go to our pages and channels and find out what happened in the first show, okay? Once again, we would like to thank James and Leslie Kimber, the owners of the Cuden Beach Hotel, their staff, and our lovely crew who have accompanied us all the way here to Bexhill-on-Sea, okay? It was a pleasure to be with you guys. Until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.
And that's all for today's Love Talk show. Be sure to tune in next week to learn more on how to love intelligently.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.